everybody. Today I'm going to be doing my presentation for my dad, or in front of my dad. His name is Raul Melchor. Say
Hi.
hi. Okay. Thank you. Alright, so I'm just going to wait a little bit for him to get seated in the sofa behind us. So every now and then we need a small reminder that we are on the right path. For me, it's this little mug. My name is Daisy Melchor, and I'm going to be telling you about the importance of my work mug. So I got into this company. I started at this company called Nice and Bella. I'm going to tell you about how I started there, what I did at first for the first year, and what I'm doing now. What I've been doing now for my second year that I've been working there. And also why this mug is of big importance. So I first started this job with no experience, and I was younger than I am now. I started in 2016, so that was about 4 years ago. So being hired with no experience, it was really weird because the interview, I'd never gone to a job that required experience. Like I was applying for a customer service position, and I've never had experience with customer service. I used to work as a waitress, and I also worked at a gas station. That was my experience. It didn't have anything to do with direct calls or anything like that. When I first interviewed, the questions were very easy. It was more like what my hobbies were. He wasn't asking me if I had experience, and whenever I did try to explain to him how my previous jobs could maybe help out with my new job, he was just like, no, it's okay, you don't need to be experienced. And it kind of made me excited, but it was a little bit more like it's too good to be true to get a job that's this good paying with no experience. So I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I started this job. My experience taking calls was very weird. It was a very small office when I first started. It was about 4 to 5 people. And I was the only bilingual person working there. And the majority of our market was Spanish. So when we first started, it was very small, and the amount of calls that we received, they weren't a lot. So there was days where I would go 8 hours sitting down and not even 5 calls throughout the entire day. And when I did deal with calls, when the volume did start picking up, I was the only one taking those very heavy calls and dealing with people screaming at me, sometimes cussing at me on the phone. It was funny, but it was very hard to deal with because I had no manager to tell me how to approach the process. And what I can say about that is that it was extremely worth it, especially with my new position that I have as the marketing and social media assistant. Dealing with crazy calls was extremely worth it. I think it really helped me toughen up, and it really showed a lot of perseverance from my part, as well as working hard and not giving up, especially when I didn't have help. The company is bigger now, and I'm a part of a growing company, and it shows with this mug, because at the second year that I started working there, I received this mug as a special recognition, and it was a mug that not everybody receives. So there was, at that time, around 10 more people in the office. So it was 10 of us in total, I'm sorry. So it was 10 of us in total when we first started off with 4. And only us 4 have this mug. So it's kind of like the team that started it all. This mug shows how far I've come. I'm glad to fill you in on how I got through the roughness of working customer service by myself at first. And for me, it was very important to see the big picture, because although it was a very small company, I had to keep thinking of how much bigger it was going to get and how much worth it was going to be, because I actually saw myself becoming the manager of customer service, not becoming a marketing assistant, like something I was studying. So it was important for me to get out of my comfort zone. Had I left, I wouldn't have gained the experience that I have now. So never underestimate the power of hard work, because my little mug is proof of it. And every time I take a sip, I just get, or like anytime somebody new gets hired, it's like, where'd you get that mug? And it's like, oh, it's my mug. You can have it. So remember, you don't have to be the smartest person or the most qualified in the room. You just have to be the most hardworking one. Okay. And my dad's just gonna come walk right back. Thank you for listening.